Hey Crushers, Young here, bringing you a new Crush Them All video. Today's video is another video in the Young vs. the World PvP series. I'm glad to be able to bring you guys some more of these. I am currently in Legendary 2. We're going to be taking a look at this team in particular. Right now we're going to be testing out Namada just to see what impact that has in my matchmaking. And we're just going to be going through doing some standard arena battles. If necessary, I will spend some candies, maybe some other consumables as well, just to make sure that I get promoted and move up. Came pretty close there, not quite enough damage against the enemy Leaf Blade to be able to cut through. Cannot beat the rock, I already know that, so we'll take a look at this. Cubed. Okay. See how this matchup goes. This was far more in my favor. Atlantis doing quite a bit of the work there. Here's the quick breakdown on that. And some recovery as well. Ether has a very strong team with 4 7/7s across the top there. I'm not going to be able to get through that Leaf Blade, so that would be a lost cause for me. Kind of a similar boat here. Another 4 7/7s. Lots of those up at these levels. 2 7/7s here. Pretty decent spread overall. Go ahead and take a shot at Doorborn, see how that match plays out. Massive amount of DPS from the enemy team. I'm curious to see who did the most there. So the enemy Scud did the majority of the damage there. Cannot beat Sirach, but go ahead and take a look at that team. That is an impressive team right there. Okay. Pretty water-centric, freeze-centric team here. Though they're not currently running Frost Queen, which is really what's necessary for a good... I was waiting to see if she'd spawn. I couldn't remember if she was in there or not. Frost Queen is really needed for a good water freeze build. So we just need to just take advantage of all of the water, like everything up there. We have Blink Neem here. And this one's about 50-50 for me. This is a team I'm pretty familiar with. I win about half the matchups. It does depend on buffs that week. Yeah, that was a big recovery on the enemy Siegfried there, right when it was on the verge of dying too. Don't think it would have made a difference in that matchup. Some big numbers being put out there. Wow, that's quite the spread there. All three of which are currently in DGM with me. And I don't think I can handle any of the three teams with my current heroes. We'll see what else we can get here. Okay, that's kind of not a better spread. And out of these, this would be the easiest team out of these options. And that does not make it an easy team nonetheless. Not seeing a whole lot of work being done by Namada, but She is... I'm using her strictly for utility in these, hoping to slow down some of the enemy DPS backline heroes. It just doesn't seem to be really making much of an impact for me. This one, I'm not familiar with this team. It looks like an easier matchup than several of the other ones that I've seen. Hopefully we'll see some more action from Namida in this one. Nope, she died before that could happen. I was worried the enemy Frostwing was going to kill her before she got a chance to do anything. Big damage from the enemy Chaos there. Well, that's just what it looked like. That's not what actually happened, I guess. Okay. Trash box. Elixir. This looks like, at the very least, it'd be a pretty close matchup to the team that I'm running. I'm curious about this one here, though I'm not familiar with the user. Okay, there's Misty doing work on the enemy water heroes, and then Atlantis coming in to help take out that Furiosa with 113. Most of that was critical damage. 113 million. You can see that enemy Furiosa took the big chunk of that. There's that blank team again. And McHugh. We've not gone up against Blackjack yet. That one might be fun. This is one of those teams that's trying to slow you down so it can smash your crystal up close. It's not going to stop my heroes quite fast enough, though. So they're able to push up ahead. So my crystal took a hit, it looked like, but nothing major. Turned into a pretty easy matchup for me. And Floppy has a pretty solid team. Most weeks, well, anymore, I'm not really sure. Most weeks, historically speaking, I was able to get wins here. We'll go ahead and take a look and see if I can pull off the win this week when I'm not running any buffed heroes. Looks like it's mainly going to come down to whether or not I can get through the Gladiator before the Gladiator gets through me. Oh man. And that was quite the final there at the end. Okay. Herbie has a very solid team, and that 7-6 Ornock is enough to steer me away. Vito has a pretty solid looking team as well. And Lord Russell's running a bunch of debuffs, so we're going to go for door number 2 and head on over to Vito's team, see how this plays out. Now, of course, if you have any questions or comments after watching this video, I would encourage you to leave them in the comment section below, or you can reach out to me through the official Discord, which you can access through the settings of the game in the community section. I meant to mention that a little bit earlier on. Got a little bit distracted. I was excited to get into the heart of the video itself. I'm trying to think if I'd made any... We could go ahead and try Lord Russell's team now that it showed up again. I'm trying to think if I've done anything else major. I don't believe I have since the last video. I know I did awaken Dark Hunter to the next level. He's standard hero within my teams. Man, that recovery, right when it was almost time to take him down too. There we go. Got off a couple S2s, was able to get through that enemy chaos. Pop a look at the stats there. 66 million recovered. Will contribute to that. So I've got enough to break even as of right now. It's still fairly early in though, so we're going to come on over here. And we're going to use some consumables. I wasn't running any to begin with. But I'm not going to go super crazy. I'm just going to use some that I have a lot of in the first place. It's almost Easter, so I'll be able to replace some of this as well. The eggs I should be able to replace during Easter. Go ahead and pop the earth egg, pop the water egg, in the dark. So that's quite the spread right there. We'll see how much of an impact that has now stepping back into the arena. So, got Zed's team. It's very earth heavy. He's not running Spark, which is surprising, given the amount of earth that he's running. I'd like to take a crack at that team now that I've buffed mine up. But to do so, we will have to make some adjustments and play a little bit smarter, taking down some of Zed's. If we can get past the lag, then we gotta get through the front line. Either way, it's not going to be an easy fight, but I've buffed up my side as much as I can here. If my gladiator can hold out long enough, it doesn't look like he could. Between the leaf blade and the gladiator, Zed's team just proved to be too much. But we'll go ahead and take a look at these stats. See that quick breakdown there? 133 million damage from the enemy Scud and 78 million from the enemy Misty. Let's see, Gladiator took 153 million damage on my side. I just simply was not able to deal out quite enough damage to the enemy side to get through them. Marky's team runs fire heavy, so we'll go ahead and drop Thorn, bring Spark in instead. Spark is my current focus hero. I'm planning on taking him to 769 now that I've gotten my Gladiator into a 7-7. So that's my current focus with my materials in general, with my awakening materials, as well as with my magic metals. The hero that I most recently invested my magic metals into was Aqua. She is now a 769, and she's made her way onto a permanent spot on my team. Yeah, I just left Spark in there. I did not mean to do that. I meant to swap them out, but that's okay. Got in a bit of a rush, so doesn't seem to be affecting anything. This wasn't detrimental to my performance there, but you can see he's very low in terms of damage there. He's mainly there to debuff enemy fire attack, which I'm not terribly concerned about, but, because the Atlantis Aqua combination that I have going. But against a team like this is where it would definitely prove to be more substantial having Spark in. I would not mind trying Keener now that I'm running some consumables just to see what this matchup would look like. Spark helping to debuff the enemy Furiosa's attack, which should hopefully help my Earth heroes stay alive a little bit better here. And that lag is pretty severe. And get past the lag and get past the front line, might be able to cut through and and dish out some additional damage here. Come on, you're so close. At this point, you just have to get up to that front line. No. That was a close one, but not close enough. Keener's team still doing very solid against my consumable-driven team. Frostqueen definitely bringing a lot to the table in that fight. Some more very strong teams here. Here's one I would be curious to see how my Siegfried stacks up against. This was a matchup I'd been wanting to try out for a while now, just to see what that kind of interaction looks like. Looks like I can pop off an S2 with Siegfried. And took out most of everything that was up there, and managed to get through the front line. Massive, that was a massive critical hit from Atlantis there. Gladiator tanking, doing what he does best. Alright, still looking at some pretty big competitors in here. 7-7 Leaf Blade, 7-6 Leaf Blade. It's very impressive teams all the way around, no matter which way we look at it. I would like to try door number 2. Though I don't think Siegfried is the way to go on this one. So instead, what I'm hoping to do is stall the back line a little bit more than normal, giving me a chance to cut through the front line and hopefully take out the back line. I'm hoping to get a lucky possess against the enemy Tesla, but it doesn't seem to be working, at least not yet. But that was pretty substantial, possessing Leaf Blade, allowing Atlantis to get close enough to actually take out that back line, dealing out some massive damage there, and taking out the crystal in the end without having to kill the enemy Leaf Blade and deal with the popping of the shield and all of that. So that turned out to be a pretty good strategy, pulling Cersei in to pull off that win. Oh man, I'm so tempted to try it. Let's go ahead and do it. And spend the last of my attacks. Curiosity killed the cat, and in this case it's probably going to kill my heroes, but I'm just curious to see how this plays out and see, at the very least, how long I can last. Lasted about 30 seconds, which was still better than anticipated. Here we go, the Sensational Asian. This is a matchup I've been wanting to see for quite a while now. So here we go, we're going to hop on in. I'm going to run with the Cersei stall like I did with the other user. I'd love to see if that can play in here. Doesn't seem to be, but was able to cut through everything. Keep in mind I am running consumables currently, so my attack power, HP, and all of that is currently buffed more so than normal. So these are not normal interactions at this point. There's Lord Russell again, Cubed again, and PC. This would be an interesting matchup, and I don't believe I've done one of these yet, at least not during this video, so go ahead and hop in here. The enemy Thorn is debuffing my Misty and my Gladiator, though I'm mainly curious to see by how much. Misty's still currently pulling second in terms of damage for my team. Well, she was. But I'd say that's a pretty substantial thing to bring to the table. Looks like the enemy... yeah. Ended up just pushing through. not a landslide victory with all the consumables I had, but I feel like it would be under normal circumstances. Okay, here's one where, again, my Earth heroes are going to be getting debuff from the enemy Thorn. However, I do believe that their damage should be high enough against all of this water to be able to cut through the front line. We just need to get through the enemy Magmus that's holding up the front, which my Atlantis should have no problem with, and did not. Which allows everything else to come pouring through. Once the floodgates open, the enemy fell down. You can take a quick look at the stats there, see how that broke down. Got 2 battles remaining. Pretty standard matchup there, just some of the other stuff we've been seeing. That's almost Dark Mono. That would be an interesting matchup, and that's probably the one we're going to do. Just want to take a look at the third option, which looks like it may be a harder team than the second. Let's go ahead and hop in there. I like having Cersei to possess. It just feels really volatile at the levels I'm currently at as to whether or not I'm going to possess somebody worthwhile, or if it's going to have any impact whatsoever. So, here we go. And final attack. So, I avoided it earlier. When I was looking at my opponents yesterday, Bearpig has one of the strongest Ornoks in the game. Maybe even the strongest, and so going up against him is usually not a thing that I'd be entertaining whatsoever. It might be a fun matchup to see, though I'm curious to see how I would do against this team. Since I've only got 1 attack left, though, Bearpig it is. Let's see if we can cut through his front line. I don't believe it's going to happen with the 7/7 Ornok, but we will just have to take a look and see. And it does not look like I'm going to make any headway there whatsoever. Interesting that he's running Petunia. It does seem to be helping, though. And ultimately, I'm just not able to deal enough damage to the Ornok to be able to cut through that front line. It may have been a little bit different had I brought Siegfried. Let's kind of rolling the dice as to whether or not Siegfried's going to be in front or not. If he was in front, then Ornok would have the advantage and just being able to whack on him real easy. I would have sacrificed one of my other hero slots. But maybe that would have made the difference there. See the breakdown in stats. And that is all I have for today's video. I do appreciate you guys watching, as always. You guys watching my videos, leaving comments, and giving feedback are a huge reason why I'm able to produce the quality of content that I am, and continue bringing videos to you. I want to take a moment to thank King Richard. He is the one that did the thumbnail for today's video. So if you guys see him on the forum, or the Discord I should say, you should definitely give him a shout out regarding that. And in the meantime, thanks for watching.